Hey guys, first things first, love it so far. How would I explain this to somebody who's never read it? I explained it to my boyfriend as soon as I read it. I would explain it as an author who is trying to bring, I haven't seen the awareness side of it yet, but I assume that's what it's going to be getting to. But an author who's trying to bring awareness to things of racism and discrepancy and what's the other word? Discrimination against people of color. I think that's really important to hit on these days because it's everywhere around us. Who are the major people and characters? Emily Bernard, the author, Julia and Isabella, I believe it's Julia, which are her kids, Julia and Isabella. The surgeon, and then I would say Daniel Silva, which is the stabber. The reason, I know the surgeon was only mentioned in briefly in one paragraph, but it is the most important because she said that was the only thing. She doesn't tell people that she was hurt by the stabbing that day. She was hurt by the surgeon. And the way he was like, "Don't touch my hand," and then didn't explain to her what was going on when he had his fingers inside of her wound is crazy. Why is the story told in this way? I believe the story is told in this way as a narrative to emphasize the emotion and importance of it and just really hit on those important things that happened that night. And she does not miss a detail. It is very, very well told and well spoken. What happens and when and where the events occur. So they occur at Coffee ? At 104 Audubon Street on August 7th, 1994. And what happens is she goes into a coffee shop to study her book. She takes her glasses and her watch off. She's going to read her book. She's going to write information down about her book. I don't remember specifically what the book was called. I could look at it, but I'm not going to sit here and find it. And while she's going into the coffee shop, there's a man who she compares to Gallagher, and he walks in with her as well. They exchange a look, and he sits down at a table next to a group of girls who are talking about something sexually intriguing, and he's listening. He's just listening. That's all he's doing. He's sitting there and listening to these women. Odd, first of all. And all of a sudden, he hops up, starts stabbing people. So she runs out, the author runs out. And after adrenaline is high and emotions are high, she walks back in to get her watch and glasses. As would anyone. And that's when she's faced with the stabber. And he stabs her straight in the gut. And I have a feeling this is the beginning of the story because there's a lot of things that happen after the stabbing that are what the media says, what the investigators say, what the surgeon did. There's gonna be so much more to it than just 7 people stabbed and sent to the hospital. So I'm excited to learn about that. How/why is the author using language or literary devices? I think the way that it's written is to emphasize the importance of the situation and support every detail brought to our attention. She's very good about having something to back up what she is saying. How/why does the structure/form of the text reveal itself to the audience in this way? And it's a narrative about the night she was stabbed. So that's going to be intriguing to a lot of people, maybe not people who've experienced it themselves, but that's an intriguing topic for a lot of people. So I think it's really important that she didn't miss a detail. What themes do I see emerging? I've mentioned this briefly, but forms of discrimination and racism, especially against the author. I can kind of infer that by the title, Black is the Body, and then of course the page we stopped on was the importance of the N-word. So I think it's going to be a very important book and very informational. How am I as a reader making sense of things? I'm making sense of things more it's a narrative. I don't really know what the rest is going to entail because she's got this first couple of pages about her previous book about the stabbing, and so I don't know what the rest is going to entail, but I have a feeling it's going to be stories of times that she has experienced racism and discrimination, and I really hope it kind of expands more on what the surgeon did, because no one should ever be treated that way. How does this connect to the concepts or theories we've discussed in class? It connects with Freytag's pyramid. We've been working on constructing ourselves. I would say the exposition is the introduction of the characters and what Emily Bernard was doing that day and why she was there at the coffee shop. The inciting incident was the fact that she was stabbed while the fact that the stabber was listening over a group of girls about a sexual topic. The rising action would be when she ran out of the shop because people were being stabbed. The climax definitely when she went back in to get her items and was faced with the stabber and then begged for her life and was still stabbed. The following action would include her leaving the shop and talking to the paramedics and then going to the hospital and dealing with what she dealt with. The resolution with her having surgery, although it wasn't really a resolution because the scar tissue inside of it was causing problems. And I think this really teaches me about storytelling more because it expands on the importance of a good story and how to say it, how to express it. This connects with larger and social issues because it's like very clearly going to talk about sensitive subjects such as racism and discrimination. The story is very effective so far. It has explained, it's really created a visual picture of where she was on August 7th and how it's affected her since then. And what do I think? What did it make you think about my personal life experiences? I think it has made me more aware of the discrimination that people of color endure, and maybe more aware of my surroundings, especially in a time like that. That's all I've got.